Yo, what is up, Karma Nation? We are back again on this beautiful Sunday morning to talk some WNBA. I am here with Ethan today, and how was your day yesterday? I heard you had a little bit of a rough
Ugh,
patch, but
yeah,
time to
yeah,
recover today.
yeah. We're gonna recover today. Yesterday just sucked so much. Baseball, Yankees sucked on offense. Mets sucked. Pitchers look like fucking all stars. Padres Rockies game was a complete shit show too. Neither team could score. WNBA, we had the nut under that we talked about in the pod was Dolson under. That easily went under, but Howard went off. Mitchell went off. Just couldn't find the right pairing there. And then Oklahoma City, what were you doing yesterday? Looked like you just didn't want to play. So I was heavy on the Oklahoma City over Shea Alexander. And funny story, I had every Oklahoma City player over except Steven Adams. Well, after the game was over, Steven Adams is the only player that went over by zero point 0.8. So I had the Rocket unders correct. But damn, yesterday was just a rough day for props. Lost a ton of money, but we're gonna regroup today with some golf, baseball, WNBA, NBA. So let's knock it out.
Yeah, our really high. I think we talked about on the NBA podcast. Our really high money baseball prop did not hit. They both went over by one pitch. So
Yeah, yeah.
ready to jump off
Suck.
a bridge, but it's all good. We are back today to make everybody some money. We're going to be breaking down the Draftkings and FanDuel WNBA slate. And of course, we'll be touching on the prop sites monkeyknifefight.online and prizepicks.online. If you do not have an account, make sure to use promo code KARMA when you're signing up to get a nice little free play off of that and a nice little deposit bonus. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our content, live stream or podcast, and make sure you hit that notification button so you never miss out on all our amazing podcasts. And don't forget to get in our free chat room by going to chatdfs.com. All right, we're going to start things off as usual with injury news. We got two big injury news. One we already have confirmation on. Bria Hartley is out. That's huge news because that's really the big influencer on this slate, and luckily we already have that news. So that's gonna bump up everybody, and then we'll see someone in the starting lineup. We're not sure who's starting yet. We gotta look if it's Walker or Cunningham, so we're gonna have to wait on that news. We also have Brianna Jones is questionable. That's really gonna influence the slate big time because then we'll have a nice cheap value forward most likely who is replacing Jones. So we have to wait on those starting lineups. Luckily, that is the first game of the night, so just whoever's starting for her, just slide her right in. There's two choices, so we'll get into that a little later. Also, we have another slate without Fowles and Griner. I'm not sure when they're going to be back. They might just miss the rest of the season. And then someone we do know is missing the rest of the season. We have Stella Johnson is out for the year. It's the Washington guard. She started one or two games, but isn't starting anymore, and now she's out for the year. And then we also have Bria Holmes is questionable again. She didn't play last slate, and she was questionable, so we will see if she's questionable, if she plays again tonight, or if she plays at all tonight. But she's not going to start at all, so it's not a huge... Doesn't really influence the slate that much. All right, so let's just get started with DraftKings. As always, we started with the guards. So, who are your favorite guards today?
All right, I'm going right back to her. DT Taurasi, 9,800. Tough matchup though. She is playing Minnesota, but no Hartley. So guess what? There's more uses for Taurasi and Diggins Smith. And just like I'll say this again, like we said last time, Diggins Smith or Taurasi, one of them is going to have a huge game. Last game it was Diggins Smith. The game before it was DT. So hopefully it's DT today. But I like DT and Diggins Smith both. I mean, it is a tough matchup. Minnesota is tough on guards, but that usage rate is just huge right now with no Griner there and no Hartley either. So if they're gonna win this game, keep it close. Both guards are going to have major games. I also love Bonner up top at 10-5. it's Washington. Washington does not play defense. So, and Bonner, just like Alyssa Thomas, high usage rate. If she is scoring the points, which we know she can rack up points really fast, I expect her to have a huge game. And also, it helps that Brianna Jones is questionable, like you said. So if she doesn't play, give me all the Alyssa Thomas, give me all the Bonner. I'm not touching the Atlanta guards again, just like last time. Yes, I know Laney had a great game. I think Laney went off for 30, 40 fantasy points, somewhere in that range.
Yep, 40.
But Carter played 17 minutes with her first game back. She's at 8,000. I have to think Carter probably plays between 20 and 25 minutes today. And the more she plays, the less usage there's going to be for Laney Smith and Courtney Williams. So I am avoiding both those guards. I don't mind Laney for GPP, but I'm not on Courtney at all. So my ownership's going to be Bonner, DT, and Diggins Smith up top today.
Yeah, and going off the matchup against Minnesota, DT and Diggins are both really good guards, so they can definitely overcome that matchup for sure. And then, so touching on those Atlanta guards, I don't want to play Laney and Williams. I love DraftKings today because they bumped Carter down to actually playable. She was, I forgot what she was last slate, 9-1 or
9-1. High eights, I think 89.
Yes. So again, like when people have good games, they bump them up completely. But when they have bad games, you see that little drop down to 8,000, which she's definitely playable, especially in this matchup against LA, who does struggle against guards. And if she gets to that 25-minute mark, we're not sure exactly. I played her in FanDuel Cash, and she was chalky. I think she was 50% last slate at 5-2 on FanDuel. And she sucked for everybody. I think I'm not. I can't play Carter in Cash just because I don't trust the minutes. Even though she's starting, she only played 17. She did have 4 fouls though, so that might have played a little bit of a role. But I don't think I'm gonna go back to Carter today. I'll play her in GPPs just because she's so cheap, and at that price, there's definitely a really good ceiling there to get you 30 points, which is definitely good for 8K. But I won't touch Williams. Laney's 100% GPP play at 9.5. I can't touch her in Cash at all. But we've seen that ceiling spark. She had another 40-pointer. She had 39, which she's been dominating these last 4 games. Saw another 37-minute game. I was surprised to see Williams start, but I guess they're going to run triple guards for the rest of the year. Which, I mean, they have 3 really good guards, so don't mind that at all.
No.
But I'm not touching Williams. It's a good lineup, but just the usage, it's going to take a hit for everyone once everyone's back to full minutes. And especially the game's Billings playing well, it's just, I don't want to touch all that in fantasy, especially at their prices. If they go back down under 9K, I'll start touching them again, but Williams at 9-2, complete fade for me. I love Bonner tonight as well, if Brianna Jones is out, that's more rebounding opportunities for Bonner as well to get her to a nice ceiling. And Washington, of course, doesn't play defense. So, like those. I love Chelsea Gray as well at 8.5. It's going to be, I don't think I can play her in Cash because I don't know if I want to pay 8.7 for Cash for Diggins either. So, we'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to pay up for DT or Bonner and then go down to Kira Leslie again. I'll probably go back to that. There's a 2 on opponent ranks next to her name, but she's just way too cheap as a starter.
There's some good players today, I think.
You also have Odyssey Sims, who just seems like she's the old Odyssey Sims that we came to love. She got 26 minutes last game. She continues to play that. She almost got a triple-double, too.
Finally, I've been begging for her to play some minutes.
Yeah, I love her. She's a great player. It's really going to help this Lynx team. So we'll see her. And that killed Lexi Brown. She really didn't get the minutes. We saw them switching Dangerfield and Sims earlier in the year, but it looks like Lexi Brown took the biggest hit. Dangerfield still got 37 minutes. So Lexi Brown was the one who played 13 minutes. It's going to be tough. I can't play Lexi Brown. Minutes just aren't there. But I love Dangerfield on the other side. And It's a great match against Phoenix. Phoenix sucks against guard, so we could see another big Odyssey Sims game again tonight.
Here's a cheap one for you. Walker Kimbrough at 4,600.
Yeah, I mentioned this with the Hartley news, so we'll see. We want to see who starts, Walker, Kimbrough, or Cunningham. You can make room for both. You can. So we got to see who's starting though. Whoever's
I would
starting.
assume Walker because she got the more minutes last game. So I would think it's her, but yeah, check on starters
Yeah,
there.
you never know what they're gonna pull. And sometimes you might not even want the starter because the bench player is gonna get a little more usage, less
Yeah.
minutes but more usage, more minutes, less usage. So it's kind of weigh those options. Whoever's starting is gonna see more ownership, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially if it's Cunningham at 3-8, but we won't know those starters before the first game. So at least it's the second game. So and there's gonna be a lot of ownership on that. So there's probably not gonna be a ton outside of Bonner and Alyssa Thomas. I'm probably not gonna play much in that Connecticut game. So
Yeah.
I'll make room for that second game. See where I'm gonna probably gonna pivot my core depending on who's starting. So both those players are in play. Um, Yeah, I don't think there's anyone else. Raquina Williams at 5'3" is definitely in play today as well. She only got 11 minutes in her first game
Yeah.
back, but definitely only a GPP play. She'll probably see 15 to 20 in her second game back, and it's Atlanta, so we could even see a blowout, and she'll get a little more run. So we got to see. Atlanta's playing a little better, so we may not see that blowout, but definitely. Definitely a good matchup. Definitely a good play. So those are probably the main players I'm looking. Oh, and of course, Carlton always in play for me, in GPPs. So
Yeah.
let's move on to forwards. Since it's the same teams playing every week, we'll switch it up
Yeah.
next week. We got our normal Collier and Parker up top with Alyssa Thomas, Maisha Heinz Allen, and Misamin right there in the 9K and 9.6 and up. So those are our studs today. So who are we looking at as our favorite plays?
Lock me in some Alyssa Thomas at 9-9. Especially if Brianna Jones does not play, just lock Thomas in everywhere. She is the lock of the day if Jones is out. Again, I'm not touching Heinz Allen or Misamin. Misamin shot 1 of 10 her first game back, but she got some decent minutes, which obviously cut into Heinz Allen's usage rate. But until I see Misamin healthy, she's strictly a GPP play only for me. So, and I love Collier again. Collier went off the other day, and without Fowler, Collier is just averaging over 40 points, fantasy points a game. So, with that usage rate and with her steal and block side upside, I think Collier is the other lock with Alyssa Thomas at forward today. I don't think you can fit in Collier, Parker, and Thomas. Because I think you'll want one of those top guards
So
too.
you can fit 4 studs on this slate depending on injury news.
Okay. Well, it's gonna
So
be tough. Yeah, I talk about that later down. There is a cheap forward that you like, depending on if Brianna Jones plays. But Collier and Alyssa Thomas are the top two that I'm locking in right away.
oh yeah, definitely. I'll play Parker if I get that injury news. But probably won't. I mean, it's a good matchup against Atlanta, but Collier and Thomas are just better plays. Especially, I mean, if Jones is in, Thomas is more GPP for me and not as much of a
Yeah.
lock. But she's definitely still a good play with Jones in. But you can just see games where Jones takes over a little too much inside and Thomas sits back a little too much. So it depends on that news. Parker, great GPP play. Collier, there's always the chance that those blocks and steals just don't happen. She plays close to the basket without fouls, so those blocks are just way higher. But if she doesn't get those, it's a good GPP pivot. It's a tough GPP pivot, but I'm definitely okay with it. Especially if Jones is out, you can play Bonner and Thomas very easily. So you can definitely easily fade Collier and Parker in GPPs if you really want. They'll, of course, always have the ownership because everyone's just going to play them just because there's a big drop-off at forward. So Brianna Turner's finally priced where she should be. We've been getting her low 7Ks, and now we got her 8-3, but now she's 8-9, so she's finally not a cash lock. Still a good play, but not a cash lock. I had last slate, all three of these teams were playing 2 days ago. I just completely stacked Phoenix, and then went with one Washington player, and then had Collier. So that's where I went last time. Can't do that this slate. I was able to take down a nice GPP for $700 there. But these guys are all priced up now, so you can't just completely stack those for free. At 40 to 50% ownership, they were great plays, but now you got to think about it, especially with Kimbrough at 7-3. Probably, I'm most likely not going to play her. Yeah, she had 2 good games, but it's tough to play her now. I mean, she's GPP considerations. She's cash if that's where your lineup goes. Sure, I'll play her in cash just because there's no one else at that spot that I like outside of Brianna Jones if she plays. Brianna Jones is always in cash playable for me because she's got you a nice 20 to 25 point floor. She's not gonna wow you with over 30 really. Maybe like 5-10% chance that happens, but she's going to get you a nice floor, so she's always cash playable if I need her. Especially on FanDuel, she's always just like 5K, and she gets you that 4K, 4X, 5X that you really need. So she's definitely always in play for me. Not going to like force her or anything, but if she falls to you, those two and that 7K range are definitely playable. Dantas, I'm just going to fade again. I know she's doing fine, but just those minutes... Yeah. It's not going to get 3 steals again, and those minutes just are tough. I mean, we talk about Atlanta turning the ball over a ton, so she got those 3 steals, but she won't get them this time, and she gets 22 minutes again. Happily fading her. Billings, I'm going to just keep fading. She had a little bit of ownership last slate. I was a little surprised, but we got our under on props last slate, and we took Dangerfield on those rapid fires, so we really took advantage of that high projection. Wnba definitely GPP playable. Again, there's a lot of most of these players are GPP playable. You don't want to. There's only like 3 or 4 people I like try to completely fade. So sometimes your lineup just falls on these players and they're decent plays. Tiana Hawkins, I'm gonna fade again. Just not playing her with me some in back. So it's just not worth it. Coates, complete fade for me. Definitely won't get the minutes she needs. Unless she comes in there and gets like 6 blocks, like there's 0 chance she hits value. Let's see. Alana Smith's not bad. Definitely don't mind her in GPPs. She might have to play a little more minutes today, just because it's Minnesota. So we'll see there. She had a really good game last game. Just didn't get the blocks and steals. So if she got those blocks and steals, she would have had an amazing ceiling.
I will say, with Hartley out, the Mercury, I believe, are only going to have 8 active players today. I believe
sounds
they've been
right.
running they've been running a 9-person rotation. So no Hartley, probably 8-person rotation now.
Yeah, definitely playable, especially 6'6". That's cheap enough, and she gets those. I'll 100% consider her for GPPs.
Yeah.
Especially on FanDuel, because she has high block upside, and they run their offense to Collier. So if Collier's playing, Sims likes to get to the basket too, so we could definitely see some blocks from this Phoenix team. So both Vaughn and Smith are high, and even Turner are both high block stealing players. So they're all in GPP consideration for sure. So we'll see who ends up with those blocks. Maybe all of them. So we'll see. And then we got to move down. So we got 2 Connecticut players. Connecticut doesn't really have any forwards, and they run a tight rotation anyway. So we could see either Montpierre or Plaisance. I think I pronounced those right. Both at 3.5 and 3.3. You could see both of them playing high 20s minutes, or one of them plays in the 30s. So I'm going to play whoever's starting. I even like running both of them in the same lineup if you really want to get weird.
And that's okay.
That's a GPP. Play the starter in cash. You can play the bench player in GPP. You can play both of them because, Connecticut just loves running their starters. So whoever's starting is definitely going to get you 20-plus points. So no reason to fade him in cash if Brianna Jones is out. Unless I mean, the only time they don't hit value is if they just sitting in the corner, which they're big, so they shouldn't be doing that anyway, or they just get hurt or foul trouble. So other than
Yeah.
that, they might be 100% owns, honestly, especially in the high dollar ones when people know what they're doing. So it depends how late we get that news. So just monitor that. We also have Mosquita Lewis as well. She's not a big, but she'll. I doubt she gets any minutes because you won't see her at center. She's more of a 3-point shooter. So we'll
Yeah.
see what happens there. But other than that, yeah, monitor if Coffee's out as well. If Coffee's out again, let's see here. Draftkings has her out, but she's probably questionable today. I didn't see anything on her, but Draftkings never updates anything, so we'll
Yeah.
see. I mean, WNBA news is tough, so then they just continue to put people as out. Sometimes they have people as out who's playing, and it's really annoying. But yeah, so other than that, those are everyone I'm considering. Any other plays that I missed?
No, I think you got everything. Like I said, that Brianna Jones is the key news we're waiting on. I think once you get that news, again, lineup making is going to be a lot easier. You'll know which direction you're going today.
Yeah, it's way too easy today.
Yeah, sadly.
Because you got the Phoenix value, you got Leslie, and then you got the potential value right there. So if Brianna Jones is not out, I'll probably play 2 cheap guards, pound some forwards, and then maybe in the utility I'll play DT or Diggins, depending where my salary goes. It's going to be a little tougher if Brianna Jones is in. I'll probably fade Thomas when I really want to play her. But we'll see how that line of construction goes. Hop in the premium. It's only, we say it every slate, only $10 a week, which is not bad at all.
No.
We had a bad day, but we didn't really play many props yesterday. As we say, don't force things. So I don't think I posted anything, and you posted one. So we had.
I posted one, and the nut under did hit. It's just the pairing was just. There just wasn't a good pairing to go with it, so we took a chance, and unfortunately, both players went over in the fourth quarter barely. So just one of those days where everything missed barely.
Yep, I feel like we just 0.5'd it up way too much.
Yeah.
Sucks. Yeah, but that's props. It's a grind. Tough. You just gotta play through those days and stick to bankroll management. Even though we love Dolson, we didn't play heavy on that prop because you still had that 50-50 shot on those other players. So even though it is amazing plus EV expected value, it still just wasn't good enough to go heavy on.
Since we're on props, you want to go ahead and move to Prize Picks?
Yep, let's move over to Prize Picks.
Do it. They'll add more players as we get closer to lock. They only have 3 players right now on each team.
Yeah.
But they'll add a 4th as we get closer.
It'll
Alyssa
probably be Brianna Jones too.
Yeah, probably. Alyssa Thomas can't do anything with that until you get injury news. So same with Bonner. Don't really want to touch either of those at this time. And I'm ignoring the Washington side. I just don't know Miesman and Heinz Allen.
One of them's going over.
Go ahead.
One of them's going to go over.
One will go over, one will go under. Kind of like how we talked about with Taurasi and Diggins-Smith. Usually one goes over, one doesn't. Which one goes over, I have no earthly idea. Heinz Allen was 37.5 last game, so she's dropped obviously 8 points now, which is where, Heinz Allen's about where she should be right now, I would say. So this first game, got to kind of take a wait-and-see approach. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Connecticut's not the best defensively inside. They're better at guards, so I do like the Atkins under as well. But yeah, one of them's going to have a good game. Aisha Heinz Allen, Miesman. Miesman has the better floor, but she's injured with that shoulder injury, which we saw present with the 1-for-10 shooting. So we'll see what happens this game. I would lean over on Miesman, under on Heinz Allen would be my guess, if Miesman's healthy enough to play, which I don't know if she's healthy enough to play. We can't.
She
We're
shot
not.
1 of 10. Yeah, she shot 1 of 10 last game, so that makes me think she's
Yeah.
not totally healthy. So I'm just
Yeah.
kind of staying away.
Yeah, and yeah, so those shoulders take months to heal a lot, and
Yeah.
basketball players just rush back and make that shoulder even worse. So we might even see some off-season surgery for her if she continues to play through and play bad. So we'll see that. Just like the Shields hurt herself, knee inflammation. You don't want to play through that. Just rest, and then
Yeah.
just. I know the Wade wanted her to rest in the beginning of the year, but she wanted to play. Sometimes you have to listen to your stars, and it did not pay off for them, and she's injured.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And now they don't have Stevens, so those championship hopes had a 2-unit bet to win 36 units on them winning it all, but that's down the drain. So
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Sky now.
Sorry.
I mean, not the Storm. Now I have to root for the Storm. I have the Storm bet, and I have a small bet on the Lynx as well to win it all, half unit.
Well, that was my pick before the year.
Oh,
I was
what's your
putting
pick?
a card on you.
Yeah, line moved a little bit, not too much. I still got, I think, plus 1,800. I think they were plus 2,500 in the beginning of the year, I believe.
Yeah.
So you had more value, especially like the Storm were plus 600 in the beginning of the year, and now they're the favorites. What makes me laugh is the Mystics were plus 150 to win it all this year. Yeah, they forgot the whole team wasn't playing, so yeah.
They forgot the whole team.
Books just didn't adjust for players opting out.
Pre-WNBA, you and I were talking about that all preseason. I was like, that was funny.
Yep, and my under win total just hit the other game, so I put 16 units on it just because it was so easy, and it hit halfway through the season. Never put 16 units on any bets, but as we learned statistics, variance is lower with higher sample size, so we have a season long compared to just single game to game. Like they started off the season 3-0 just because they shot unconscious from 3. It was like even the bench players were all shooting like 1 for 1, 2 for 2. They were shooting like 60%. They start 3-0, beat the Storm by 15. I start sweating, and then they drop 7 straight games, and everything's back to normal. So,
well, let's move on to the next game, Joey.
Yeah, what do we got here? We got
Mercury and Lynx.
pretty good game.
Yeah, but like we said, who's going off, DT or Diggins Smith? I know who I'll be taking over. Not going to say officially on the pod, obviously, but one name I will say that's interesting currently is Dangerfield. I know earlier when we were talking pre-pod, you were kind of leaning over on Dangerfield. I'm not sold on that like Joey is. I know Joey's still kind of 50-50 on it. If Sims is back to Sims and playing those big minutes, Dangerfield her usage rate's going to go down.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Sims starts today. That could be an interesting storyline.
Yeah, so I think here we need to wait on starting news, see if Sims starts. Turner, I'm also kind of leaning under. The last time Turner played the Lynx, she had 8 total blocks and steals in that game, and she barely went over. I think she had like 31, 32 fantasy points. Against the team. So I don't think she'll get 8 blocks and steals again. That's quite a lot. So possibly the under there. Dantes, possibly the under too. I just don't trust her minutes. If she plays a lot of minutes, she's going to go over. If she doesn't, she'll probably go under. So that's kind of a coin flip there. But that's kind of where my head is at for this second game.
Yeah, and touching back on DFS for a second, I'll be playing Leslie and Cash, but if I knew the Sims starting news, I'd rather play Sims for 100 less.
Yeah.
I can't take the risk of her starting is the only issue. So Sims is a great GPP play. Because she got 25 minutes and Lexi Brown got 13. Lexi Brown was the starter. So if you want to take the chance, you can take the chance. But
and for those who don't follow the WNBA, Sims was really good last year. She's a good basketball player. I think you said she had a baby in the offseason, which is why she kind of started off a little slow. I think she was late getting to the bubble.
It was in March, too, so it was pretty recent.
Yes, and I think she was late getting to the wobble, right?
Yeah, she was late getting to the wobble, then she was serving a suspension
So if she is starting and those minutes are creeping up, I think I'll take some Dangerfield under, to be honest with you. But we got to take a wait-and-see approach there because once Sims is starting and getting those full minutes, Lexi Brown back to the bench. Dangerfield will still start probably, but her usage rate will go down, and Sims is going to start balling again like she did last year.
Yeah, so should be an interesting game. Yeah, definitely with props, you can just wait. There's nothing huge I like on the Washington Connecticut game, so there's no reason to get a little early on the Dangerfield. Dangerfield's not going to move. None of these players are going to really move that much. If they haven't moved already, they probably won't move that much. So we'll see. Just monitor that news, and then we'll see. So we got the last game now.
Woohoo!
Atlanta versus LA. I doubt this game's going to be too much of a blowout, but we could see a 10-point plus game.
Yeah.
Which, there's no Liz Williams, but I'd probably go under on Liz Williams if they add her. Maybe at like 25, I'll go under. Maybe 22, I'll still go under. But I probably won't. I think she'll go under 20, but I wouldn't touch her that low. But if we get her at 25, it's perfect.
As Price Picks is listening right now, as they're thinking, all right, Joey says take the under here, so let's put her here and make life harder for him. Good job, Joey.
Of course. It's
they listen to odds. They've told us. So.
Oh, well. This is late in the game. No way they're listening still.
Yeah.
I mean, most people just turn us off by now, so.
Yeah, but like I said, Carter's going to probably play low 20 minutes, so Courtney could be another under candidate. I wish she was, low 30s, maybe 29, 30
I think she's 29 and a half on Monkey Knife Fight. Either that or 20.
Yeah, so she is higher on Monkey Knife Fight. So if I was going to take the under on Courtney, which I might, who knows, we'll see, I'd probably take the under on Monkey Knife Fight instead of Price Picks. I hate doubling up unless it's an absolute lock, like Dulcin was yesterday, even though she wasn't on Monkey Knife Fight. Unless it's a lock, I usually just play on which site's better. I don't double up. So
yeah. And she's paired with Gray, which I'm not a huge fan of. I might go under on Gray as well.
Gray had a huge game last game, but outside of that, it's been the Candace Parker show mostly.
Yeah, Gray had an easy matchup. I think that's what.
Yeah, she had like 25 or so real points.
Yeah, she dropped 27, which is nice.
Yeah, she went off.
She had 62%. Oh wait, no. God. I was still in the mindset that Courtney Williams was on the Sun. She was there last year.
Joey.
She still has that Suns jersey on Monkey Knife Fight. Yeah, it's a great matchup against Atlanta, so we gotta see. I'll probably lean over. Just because it's Atlanta, we could see those extra steals, which if she ends up with 3, she's definitely going over. So
yeah, I agree. But get in our Discord because, like I said, it's a little too early to do props. But once we start getting some starter news, some injury news, we should be able to lock in some props closer to lock, just like we always do.
Yep.
So, and then one other thing, Joey, let's touch on. We have NFL season, man, just around the corner.
We do have NFL season.
We are, a week from Thursday is the opening night, Kansas City versus Texans. If you're not in our Discord yet, get in Discord. We murdered NFL props last year. I don't have my official numbers in front of me, but it was thousands of dollars profit.
I made like $3,000 in the first 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, we make some good money, and there's going to be props released probably Thursday of next week. Usually props are out a week before.
They got season-long props, which are interesting. I'm not gonna if they're like single. I like single season props, but I can't parlay season-long props.
Yeah,
it's tough.
But if you've thought about joining Karma, if you thought about props, message myself, Joey. Get in our Discord for free. Talk to us there. We have a lot of subs in there who play props, and they'll tell you firsthand. Props are so much easier than DFS, and football is probably our best sport when it comes to props. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say football is the easiest prop.
We're not going to say why because you don't know who's listening.
Yeah, we're not going to say why. If you pay to get in our Discord, we'll tell you why. But
yeah, we'll tell you why in our Discord, but we're not going to tell you why now.
We got too many moles listening.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But if you thought about football, if you thought about props, everyone likes football. Now's the time to get in Discord. You're going to want to get these football props. It's only, I think, $15.99 a week, or get MVP for $120. a week, and MVP obviously gets you all of our sports. We drop props for all sports. So
And
now's the time
yeah,
to get in.
props are much more fun than showdown slates. So you got the Thursday night football, Sunday night football, Monday night football. Maybe we
Yeah.
might sneak in some Saturday night football if college football is not really prevalent. So maybe we'll get lucky and have 4 primetime games. So yeah, they're much more fun than showdown. Much more prop. I don't play cash in showdown, but I can just go heavy on some night game football. So.
Yeah. I agree
Mixed
with
games
you.
a lot more fun because then you're just if games on TV you don't feel like watching, you just play a prop and then you're good to go. I know a lot of states sports betting is illegal, so you can't get those there. But props you can play just single games and have some fun with it.
Yeah. So outside of that, though, I got nothing for you. You're not gonna be here tomorrow, right? We can't do a pod tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm working 9 to 5, so if we do a 7 a.m. pod, which
No, I'll be at work.
hell no, that's not gonna happen. Yeah.
No pod tomorrow, but we'll be back Tuesday.
We will be back to. How many games are tomorrow? 2?
3, I thought. Isn't it normal 3?
Yeah, but I think it's one slate has 2, one slate has 1, and the other slate has 3. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, tomorrow is 2. You're right. We have Sky Fever tomorrow, and then Sparks and Lynx tomorrow.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting for DFS because we've always had 3 games, and I hated those 2 games in 1 game slates that we had last year a lot. So.
But it's 2-game slate. It's not going to be a good cash slate. You know, DFS is going to be chalky, obviously.
It's a prop slate.
But it's a great prop slate. Yep, good prop slate. So, you know, if you haven't played props yet, today's really great, but really tomorrow is the best time to start just because 2 games, DFS will be chalky. So,
Yeah, hop in our Discord today. Make that $10 back today, and then just play with free money the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I got nothing. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Give us some views on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up if you like us. Any comments, message us. Joey, you got the last word.
All right, Chargers winning the AFC West.
Goodbye.